There are 5 essential habits for engaging people well. The first is caring about them. The second is building openness and honesty in the relationships. Third is building oneness. The fourth is taking ownership as a team. And fifth is mastering mentoring. The first people engaging habit is caring for people. And I call it a habit. It's really a value. It's a mindset. And it's foundational to all the rest. And it's like the chemistry of human relationships. If I know you care about me, it changes how I think about you and my ability to relate to you. And the bond of that relationship, we talk about electrons going around the nucleus. There's an electromagnetic energy that holds those electrons in place. The caring between you and I hold the relationship in place. And if we hold that relationship in place, we can assemble other things on top of it. It's the foundational building block of human relationships is me caring about you. Well, how is that expressed? It's in a work situation. There are lines. There are things that I don't need to know about you, but I should be interested in you as a whole person. As if I'm leading you, I should be interested in your life outside of work, things that you're willing to share about your family or other interests. And you're not just doing it to tick it off the box. You care. You demonstrate that you're interested in the individual, not just what they can do for you. The second engagement habit, people engagement habit, is being honest and open. It builds on the first, which is caring about people. It too is foundational. What we're headed towards with openness and honesty is the ability to collaborate with each other so that we can do things together that we couldn't do by ourselves. That depends on communication. And communication depends on truthful interactions with each other. So if we cannot have an open and honest communication, we cannot build a relationship or an organization that can achieve its potential. What's interesting about openness and honesty is I can't really be fully honest with you unless I trust you. That takes time to learn to trust you. The first habit, which is caring about you, increases my ability to trust you. If you have demonstrated over time you care about me, then I'm more likely to be open and honest with you. Pat Lencioni in 5 Dysfunctions of Team talks about you have to have the ability to talk to each other openly to get to the best solution. Not to disagree, but to disagree within the umbrella of a bigger purpose. So honesty and openness it sounds like motherhood and apple pie and the kind of stuff we all talk about, but the reality of it, it's hardcore. To really build a team that can be truthful and open, completely open with each other, is hard work. Building oneness is the third habit in the relationship or the engagement building process. It's a skill, it's a mindset. Now, you could also talk about building teamwork, but really building oneness is a higher standard than teamwork. There's a lot of biblical insight on the idea of oneness. Basically, oneness means it's rooted in the same word as integer, making something whole or complete. And when you form a team with a shared purpose, you're building a unit, a one. It's a group that is together, functions as one. It's incredibly powerful, and it's almost mysterious. If you look in the Bible, God talks about, with reverence, oneness. He says a husband and wife become one. They become a unit. Nations become one as a unit, and we become one with God even. And so when you are, as a leader, are forming a team around a shared purpose, you're doing some really holy work. You're doing something incredibly important, enabling people to work together to achieve something they couldn't separately. This third habit, this third skill, is dependent on the other two. How is it that you get a group of people together and agree and get commitment around a single purpose? You do it with openness and honesty. How do you get openness and honesty? You get it with good one-on-one relationships where you care about each other. So these things build upon each other, and oneness is the ultimate goal. It's the place that you're trying to get to as a leader. The fourth habit that's necessary for building effective teams, the teams that are engaged, is to take ownership. Understanding the four-step process, this fourth step comes out of having formed a common vision for what you're trying to do, and the group is committed to it. Now the rubber meets the road. People have to work on an ongoing basis toward that goal, and their behaviors have to demonstrate ownership. They have to demonstrate a willingness to subject their individual priorities to the group's priorities. They have to think as a team. And that may mean giving up on something you're doing to make sure something else more important happens. Another type of ownership is holding each other accountable, staying focused. We all get distracted. We need to be reminded and encouraged to stay on track. And I think a third area is behaviors. We do things as a team that sometimes weaken the team. Interpersonal behaviors, things where we break trust with each other, those can destroy the team. And frankly, you would rather lose the game than lose the team. So taking ownership is a very rich concept that it's after you've built oneness, how do you preserve that oneness in pursuit of your purposes? The fifth habit for engaging people is mastering mentoring. It may seem like it's a little out of place with the other four steps, but the reason it's so critical is every organization that is successful grows. And when organizations grow, they eventually outgrow their ability to execute. They get bigger, they get more complex. Mastering mentoring is a habit, it's a mindset where every single person should always be thinking about who can they transfer expertise, knowledge, skill to the next person in line. So in a growing organization, there's always new people coming in, and if you cannot master this mentoring, eventually the organization will outgrow its own ability to execute. So what are you mentoring them on? You're mentoring them on the other four skills. In this organization, we care about each other, we're open and honest, we build oneness, we hold each other accountable. You're mentoring them on that. You're showing them how that works. You're also showing them how the processes we use, how do we set goals, how do we measure results. You're building a culture that can grow and still not get diluted.